The flight attendant suddenly took off her stockings and asked the female passengers to do the same. The male passengers nearby were stunned. After everyone had taken off their stockings, the flight attendant asked the passengers to remove their jewelry and put it into a large bag for storage. You might think the flight attendant was doing gymnastics. No, she was teaching the passengers the brace position for impact. The plane had a problem. The front landing gear wouldn't go down. They were going to try a tailwheel landing to shake it loose. As the control tower gave the approach order, the captain carefully flew the plane. It descended slowly. The nose came up. The back wheels touched the ground. The whole plane shook violently. In the cabin, a middle-aged man's suitcase fell off the overhead bin. The contents spilled all over the floor. It was a suitcase full of money. After a brief touchdown, the captain pulled the plane back up and gained altitude. It was a close call, but the front landing gear still wouldn't come out. In the cockpit and the airport control room, everyone looked more and more worried. In the cabin, a bald man took out a photo of his friend and raised his glass. He said it was his good friend who had died in a Swissair crash just last week. The bald man kept saying they would be together soon. The flight attendant splashed a glass of cold water on his face to wake him up. The middle-aged man ran to the chief flight attendant. He had $802,450 in cash in his suitcase. It was the life savings of over 1,000 workers in his factory. He thought flying with the cash would be safe, but now he feared he wouldn't make it back. He hoped the chief flight attendant could help drop the money and have someone reliable deliver it to the factory. The chief flight attendant comforted him. She said things weren't that bad. If they couldn't get the landing gear down in the air, they would have to make a forced landing. At that moment, the crew was under a lot of pressure. The ground staff had already started working on a forced landing plan. The chief commander suddenly thought of another way. They could send someone out of the plane to check and try to lower the landing gear. Working outside a fast-moving plane was very difficult and dangerous. But for the safety of everyone on board, the mechanic decided to take the risk. The crew tied the mechanic with a safety rope. He went down to the bottom of the cabin, cut through the seal, and opened the landing gear door. The huge pressure almost sucked him out. He steadied himself and climbed out. He faced a biting cold wind. He was 450 meters above the ground. Could he find and fix the problem with the plane?